Good morning. It is about 69 degrees here. It was a lot chillier in the morning. Normally on Wednesdays, it's January 12th. Normally on Wednesdays, staff and interns will do morning farm work. So they will divide all the farm work that needs to be done. And so I'll be going with Robert, who's a semi-arid intern.
My name is Robert Beatty. I'm an intern at ECHO this year. It's 2022, second half of the internship. My area of demonstration is the Semi-Arid. And today, with the help of my dear friends and co-laborers, we took cassava cuttings and grouped them by variety. So it's the same species, but they have their own unique genetics that give them unique characteristics. I don't know the unique characteristics of each of these varieties, but they have their own names, so we bundled them by variety and then labeled them with this tape. Sarah did most of that. And we're taking cuttings now before any real threat of frost, because the frost could kill them and they would be useless to us. And what we're going to use them for is in the spring we'll plant them again so they can overwinter. I'm assuming we will cover them with something to protect them from frost if this covering here doesn't do enough. And when we plant them in the spring, they will likely flourish. We've heard they're tenacious. So the only thing is we have to keep them out of the sun. So we're going to move them up against the wall. What else? The tubers, you can eat the tubers. That's kind of the main point of having cassava, are still in the ground. We cut these off, leaving about yay much so we can see where the tubers are underground. We're going to use potato forks and hoes and shovels to get them up. Probably just the potato forks mainly. We'll do that in a few weeks. And then I'm going to have to read up on how to process it. I know there's at least one toxin in the tubers. You have to process that out before you eat it. What else?
It tastes like a softer potato?
Yes, it tastes like a bland, mild potato. And you can use it in pretty much all the same ways you would use a potato. That's the extent of my knowledge.
Good evening. So it's January 12th, and every Wednesday the staff and intern get together and there's this event called Farm Work Day. Volunteers are also involved, and basically you meet in the shop and they have all these jobs that need done, and then you raise your hand what job you want to do. You go work on it until lunchtime. So I went to the Semi-Arid with Robert, who's an intern here, and we just took some cuttings at the base of cassava, which is a tree that would grow in the semi-arid area, and it produces tubers, and those are the cassava tubers are a lot like potatoes, and so a lot of the interns harvested those as well, and they are going to cook them later on, but I'm really excited to try those. Another thing that we ended up doing was helping. My group ended up dividing then, and we helped the market garden chore time, which basically we helped them get fruits ready and the vegetables for market, because they do have, I believe in a couple days here, they're gonna have like a little farmers market on campus here. So we got a bunch of like star fruit, which by far is my favorite fruit right now that I have tried. Star fruit or carambola is my favorite. I eat it all the time, and my specifically the type that I like is called bell carambola, and that's my favorite. And then in the afternoon, instead of last week I went to seed bank, so this week I went to propagation. And in the beginning, they always start off by weeding for about 15 minutes. And then we divided up some rhizomial plants. And I started with it was a type of arrowroot plant. And basically it had these little like potatoes, these little like circular little potatoes that I like just cut off and put into another bucket. But then I also took the mother rhizomes, and I think they were called chromes. I took those and I try to get off as much dirt in the roots as I could, because those will be safe for propagation later. A lot of the process here is, we're using we've already used, you know, the leaves or the fruit or whatever it has produced, and now we're going to take whatever's left from the plant and we are going to take the rhizomes so that they can be propagated later. Another thing we did was divide the fahachi grass, and this was done, we took the grass because they were like, the pots were super root bound, and so we took the bottom of the roots at the base of the pot, we took them out, we sliced the bottom and took those roots off, and then with a machete we split it in half and then split it into fourths, and then we took each one and we just repotted them so that they can be used later. And something that's really interesting that they do here at Echo is a lot of these people are super smart and knowledgeable, and they refer to everything in their scientific name, which I'm really excited because I did not think I'd have to know these, but in botany I learned a lot of scientific names of plants and I didn't think I'd have to know them, but it's commonly used here. They use them all the time. So one of them that I learned today was Spanish needle is Biden's alba, and they refer to it a lot of the times by their scientific name. And to end my day, we went back, my sister and I went back to the rainforest. She's a rainforest intern. And we moved the turkeys because they had a really interesting way of, you know, using what you already have. Is we took the chickens and they're in an enclosed area, but basically the chickens, if you need a whole area weeded and you don't have the time to do it, place the chickens there. They will eat, you know, all of the weeds, and then they'll dig up the ground, and now you don't have to weed at all. So they had already cleared an area within a day, and we moved them to another area, and that's how I ended my day. But I just love the community here at Echo is absolutely amazing. Everybody helps each other. Everybody is willing to teach one another, which is important. Even like for me, sometimes I feel like I don't know what I'm doing, but they're always willing to tell me, re-explain, and always willing to share their knowledge and to help people learn and grow.